have a good understanding of color theory, our ability to create more intuitive mixes during our painting sessions becomes a lot easier. We will make fewer mistakes with color and find more ease in mixing exactly the hues that we need. So these are our split primary colors. Now you might wonder why I've put them in this peace sign formation. So here is a color chart that's already filled out with my secondaries and tertiaries as well. So take a look here. This is my peace sign, okay? At the top of this line here are the two yellows, so cool yellow and warm yellow. Then down the red line, I've got my two reds, and down the blue line, I have my two blues. Anything that falls within this section, this little slice of pie, okay, is going to make the clearest, cleanest secondaries and tertiary colors, the most vibrant colors. So same thing, so the warm yellow and warm red are going to make the best oranges. Cool red and warm blue are going to make the most vibrant purples, and cool blue and cool yellow are going to make the most vibrant greens. This is why this is important. We can start with a vibrant color and we can make it more neutral or darker or more gray, but we can never take it back to that vibrant stage. So we want to start with the most vibrant colors we can, and then we can make them more natural looking. But if we started with, more natural looking colors, we could never get that vibrancy when we needed it. So this is really an important thing to understand. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when you paint outside of that inner pie shape. So here's my kind of basic red. And here's my royal blue. Need a little more. And this is basically the purple that I achieved. Okay, it just kept getting muddier and muddier and muddier. So when I discovered the split primary palette, it made so much sense to me because I could take this magenta, this cool red that's inside that pie shape, and mix it with that warm blue that's inside the pie shape. And guess what? Here I have my beautiful vibrant purple. Making a color chart is a great way to see how all of your pigments on your palette interact with one another. I'm going to show you how to create one and then give you a little example of how to paint it in. So what I've done here is I've taken a small piece of sketchbook paper, like a 9x12 sheet. I've used an eraser and a pencil, and I've created this grid kind of pattern. So basically start at the top, make a line, move it down, okay? And then the same thing going across. So you have a grid pattern. You want to have 6 squares across and 6 down, okay? And then you'll have a little extra space right here. So that's how you make the grid itself. Then what I've done is I've taken my 6 colors on my split primary limited palette and I've painted them across. So here is my cool yellow, Hansa Yellow Light, painted here. And then I've painted it in the first slot here. I've also put the pigment number, you might notice. That way it helps me to learn them. And so here I put the name of the color, that it's cool yellow, and up here I put the pigment number, which is PY3. And then I've done the same thing across the top, okay? So once that's done, I can start mixing my colors and filling in the grid. So how this works, it's kind of like those old science charts that we used to do back in grade school. What is here and here ends up here. So we're mixing this one with this one, and it ends up here. If we mix this one and this one, the result ends up here. So it's a basic grid. All right, so I'm going to start by filling out a row for you. I'm going to use the Hansa Yellow Light, the cool yellow, and I like to keep some paper towels nearby so I can wipe out my dish in between mixes. And then I have my split primary palette and some clean water. So I'm going to start with a nice little juicy mix of the cool yellow in my palette. I don't need too much because I'm only painting a really small square, but I want to make sure it's nice and fluid, okay? Then I rinse my brush. I pick up some of the next color on the chart. We don't need to mix Hansa Yellow Light with Hansa Yellow Light. We know what that's going to get us. So we'll just skip right over to this new gamboge. So I'm going to pick up some of the warm yellow. And you want to aim for equal amounts. That takes some practice, but just aim for equal amounts. You'll still get a good mix. So I mix the two together in my dish, mix them really well, roll my paintbrush in my paint, and then I look to see where they intersect, and I paint that resulting color in that square. So let's do it a few more times. So I got the cool yellow, and now I'm going to mix it with warm red. So I start with a mix of cool yellow, nice and juicy in the palette. Rinse my brush. Take an equal amount, as equal as you can make it, of warm red, mix it in, and what do I get? I get a really nice orange. It's not quite as vibrant as my orange when I mix warm yellow and warm red, but it's a beautiful orange. And now I'll do the last one. I'll start with my cool yellow, and then I'll add some of my cool blue, which is the color that makes the clearest, cleanest, most vibrant greens with cool yellow. And I'll paint that in the resulting square. Look at the difference in those greens by using just blue and yellow. Big difference. So let me just show you what a completed color chart looks like. You can paint these in any way you want. Every time I do them, they look a little different. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you get all the colors together, you add them up and see what they all create. Here in this corner, with our 2 yellows and our 2 blues, we get 4 very different greens. So if I'm painting something, this is a great starting point. I can say, which 2 colors are going to make the green that's closest to what's in my reference or what I'm painting? Very helpful for this. If you look down here, you've got 4 very different purples. Okay, same thing. 4 very different oranges. It's super, super helpful. The main thing that I've learned from doing color charts is how to intuitively mix color. The more I practice these, the easier it becomes for me to automatically know what colors will combine to make the color that I need.